ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 verse number 3। पश्य एतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्य महतीं चमूं व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येण धीमता। O my teacher, behold this great army of the Pandavas arranged in a military phalanx by your intelligent disciple Dhrishtadyumna, son of Drupad. In this verse, Duryodhan is speaking to his commander-in-chief and Guru Dronacharya, pointing out to the vast and very perfect military arrangement of the Pandavas that has been done by Dhrishtadyumna, who was the son of Drupad as well as a disciple of Dronacharya. Duryodhan is saying these words in a very satirical way. When we speak something, the tone and the mood in which we speak gives the real meaning to those words. For example, if we say, Ram, you are going, that will sound like just a simple statement of a fact. Now, if I say, Ram, you are going, now the same words will actually have the tone of a question asking Ram, where are you going? If I say the same words this way, Ram, you are going, now this will sound like one person is anger and questioning why Ram is going. Now the same words can be spoken this way, Ram, you are going. Now this will sound like a satire. The person is potentially pointing to something wrong in Ram going someplace. So the words that we speak derive their real meaning from the tone in which they are spoken. So here Duryodhan, as we discussed before, was a great politician, and when he approached Dronacharya, even though externally he was showing it as a mark of respect that he was approaching his guru to show to him the arrangement of the opposing army of the Pandavas, in fact, through his words, he is trying to point different things to Dronacharya in terms of his deficiencies. And here he specifically uses the word your intelligent disciple Dhrishtadyumna. As we discussed before, in the Sanskrit language, the adjectives are transformed the same way as the noun. In the Sanskrit verse here, it says, Drupadaputren tava shishyen dhimata. So, Drupadaputra refers to Dhrishtadyumna, who was the son of Drupad, and then he is qualified by two adjectives. Tava shishyen means he is the disciple of Dronacharya, and dhimata, which means very intelligent. So what was the purpose of Duryodhan saying like this? As we discussed before, Dron and Drupad both were students in the hermitage of Maharshi Bharadwaj, where they became very close friends, and Drupad, who was the prince of the Panchal Pradesh, he promised to give half of his kingdom to his dear friend Dron. Later on, as when they grew up and Dronacharya approached Drupad to get the half of the kingdom, Drupad absolutely refused to even recognize him. Dronacharya then later on, when he taught the Pandavas and Kauravas, then as part of his Guru Dakshina, he asked Arjun to defeat Drupad and get half of his kingdom. Arjun did exactly the same and defeated Drupad. Drupad, being very humiliated by this defeat, vowed to take revenge and performed Putraka Meshti Yagya. Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj Ji in his commentary explains about Dhrishtadyumna that Drupad, the king of Panchal, performed a sacrifice with the desire to beget a son who would kill Dronacharya. From the fire of the sacrifice, a boy appeared holding armor and weapons. At the same time, a voice from the sky predicted that this son of Drupad would kill Drona. The Brahmins named this heroic-looking boy Dhrishtadyumna. He learned the science of archery from Dronacharya, who was extremely benevolent. Although Dronacharya knew that one day Dhrishtadyumna would kill him, still with great effort he trained him in weaponry. Thus Acharya Dron was killed by his own disciple in the Mahabharata war. So here we see that Dronacharya, being a Brahman and a real Guru, taught Dhrishtadyumna when Dhrishtadyumna approached him to become his disciple and to learn the art of weaponry, very well knowing that Dhrishtadyumna will be the cause of his death. Dronacharya still did not refuse to impart knowledge to him. This is in complete contrast to his refusal to accept Ekalavya as his disciple and teach him art of weaponry. As we discussed last time, this was because Dronacharya very well knew that Ekalavya will misuse his knowledge of weaponry, and by gaining this power of knowing how to fight skillfully, he will only cause disturbance and destruction in the society. Therefore, to avoid the future destruction and lot of pain that he would cause, Dronacharya did not accept Ekalavya. But on the contrary, even knowing that he himself will be killed by Dhrishtadyumna, he very mercifully taught Dhrishtadyumna the art of archery. So this is the real symptom of a guru. A spiritualist does not care about his well-being, he cares about the well-being of others. Whereas a materialistic person only cares about himself and does not care about the well-being of others. A real teacher, a real guru does not hold back knowledge. He does not discriminate whether the person who is approaching him is from his community, his caste, his creed, his nation, his organization. He will give him the knowledge with the desire that would transform that person's life, and he would also share it with others. A Kshatriya like Duryodhan on the other side is very competitive. A Kshatriya would never share his knowledge because they do not want to divulge their secrets and thus become weak in front of their opponents. But for a Brahman, there is no opponent. A guru, a teacher, selflessly shares his knowledge with others. However, Duryodhan could not appreciate this aspect of a Brahman's character, and he thought, and that is what he's pointing out to Dronacharya, that you actually are not very intelligent, because if you were intelligent, then knowing that someone will become the cause of your death, you will never share the knowledge of weaponry with that individual. However, you have empowered your own opponent. And now see what he is using that knowledge for to fight against your camp. He is also pointing out that contrary to Dronacharya, Drishtadyumna is very intelligent because he was very masterfully able to convince Dronacharya to teach him. So Duryodhan is pointing to Dronacharya that just the way you acted very unintelligently, almost foolishly, by teaching someone who was going to become the cause of your death all your knowledge, don't behave the same way in this battle of Kurukshetra. He knew that Dronacharya had a soft heart for the Pandavas. So he is cautioning him that don't fight in a way that we will all be defeated. Make sure that you don't act foolishly now. Don't become lenient with your dear students, the Pandavas. So by using such diplomatic words, Duryodhan is trying to arouse the anger of Dronacharya, because to fight in a war and to become victorious in a war, you actually have to have the mood of passion, the mood of anger to defeat your opponents. And this is the trick that Duryodhan is trying on Dronacharya very diplomatically. He will also point out the various other warriors in the opposing army of the Pandavas that we will discuss next time. Till that time, Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe, have a very blessed day.